Aquila was called to come and help and assist a baby orphan rhino that was just, his mom just recently died due to an infection wound into her stomach, and they found him by the mom's carcass, and he was still drinking on her. And Aquila Private Game Reserve, the non-profit organization called Saving Private Rhino, was called up to come and help and assist the young orphan. And as we got there about 2 weeks ago, he was very wild, and the first thing that we needed to do was giving him liquids into him. And that's the most important thing we needed to get to him, because he was getting very dehydrated. And it was a tremendous task because he was very wild. You couldn't touch him, you couldn't come close to him.
What place is it?
And it was heartbreaking to see him standing there, and he was crying for his mom. And you know, there's nothing in this world that you can do for this little guy, and all you want to do is just help him. So it took about 14 hours for us to get him stable and for him to first get a liquid milk formula into his body. And once he started noticing that we are friendlies and giving him sustenance, he was like a quench. You couldn't quench his thirst. He was just unstoppable to get more and more liquids. So now we've got a job to every 3 hours feed him 2 liters of milk. So he drinks about 16 liters a day so far. And you can see the wounds here on his back was due to when he was put in isolation, a protected area. He was very wild and he was confused, so he was running around bashing himself into poles and debris in the enclosure. So we got him stabilized, he got to trust us, and so it took us about 2 weeks to get his condition right. He ran into some diarrhea, which was very bad because he was just under a tremendous amount of stress. You can just imagine a wild animal just being taken away from his mom. He's confused, he didn't know what was going on. And yeah, he's got a strong spirit from the day one where we found him until now. He hasn't given up, and he's continuing. And so the role of Saving Private Rhino is to get him weaned off his milk and have him secured into a place where there's not so much poaching going around in the Western Cape as in the Limpopo and the Mpumalanga area, where they're more formidable there with the poaching. And in the Western Cape, they only got about 1% chance of poaching here. And it's a well-protected area with anti-poaching training going on and dogs. And so the mission is to preserve the genetics, get him back to where he needs to be, and then once he's ready, we'll send him back to where he belongs.